Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Coach Carp here with Carp's Gym. Today we're taking a look at another budget cardio piece. This is the Merach S29. It is their indoor cycling bike that does not require electricity. It has an internal generator that runs the machine. It runs the magnetic resistance and the screen. It's an indoor cycling bike, but you literally pretty much take it anywhere. You don't have to be close to an outlet or a wall or run an extension cord or anything like that I've done with previous models of other exercise bikes and exercise equipment. So that makes it kind of unique. And I really love that feature. A few years back, I made a budget Peloton video, the Peloton video under $200. That was one of the most popular videos ever on my channel. And if you saw that video, that product is no longer available. So I've been looking for a product to replace that and recommend to others. This is where this Merach S29 bike comes in. It has all the things that I would look for in an indoor cycling bike. If you want to get that Peloton-like or outdoor cycling feel, it has a 40-pound flywheel. It has magnetic resistance. It's belt-driven. There's all the key things you want in a bike like this. And then next thing would probably be adjustments. This one has some of the most adjustments of any of the bikes, especially the budget level that I've seen, because you do have the seat moves up and down and front to back. So you have four-way adjustment on the seat. And the seat is pretty comfortable, 20, 30 minutes, very comfortable seat. As a bigger guy, I found it very comfortable. Also, 4 ways of adjustment on the handlebars. So the handlebars go up and down, front to back. So you should be able to ride it pretty much any size. Even my daughter is 4'6", and on the lower settings, she was able to ride it comfortably. So, but if you're between that 4'6" and I would say 6'5" range, you should be able to find the right levels of adjustments on here, because I was riding on it on level 7 on the seat. And you still have one more adjustment. I'm about 6'2"-ish. And then on the handlebars, I was riding on a 6 or a 7, depending on back and forth. But the max is 8. So I had 2 more adjustments on the handlebars and 1 more on the seat. Typically, you like your seat to ride a little bit higher or even with the handlebars. That's going to be personal preference to get it in line with your hip. So if you stand up next to the seat and your hip is riding there, your seat should be right around there. Or you can even go from the side. You want to have a slight bend in your knee when you're you don't want to have your leg or knee all the way flexed out. You want to be able to have a slight bend when you're at the bottom so you can push and pull up with your hamstrings. The pedals do come with a cage design, so you could swap out pedals if these aren't the type you like, but it has a cage. It's flat on one side and a cage on the other. I typically like a cage because I like to wear different types of shoes, so different training shoes. If you want to do clip-in shoes or something like that, that'll be an upgrade that you could make. You could buy some clip-in pedals or some that do both and have clips on one side. I've done that in the past. I don't really feel like I need to do it on this one, but that's something you could do. What is really nice about it is the handlebars have 8 different positions. On some bikes, you might see 1, 2, 3 positions, but this one has the higher handle up here on the front. If you're standing up or going uphill, it has 2 different horizontal handles. It has this one front, and then this one here is another grab point. And then you can really get down and hunker down on this center one, as well as the outside ones. I kind of feel like I like to grab it in this area, do this type of, but there's so many different. I'll show you some clips of me riding it, and at different points of the ride, you want to adjust, and if your back tightens up or things like that, you might want to lean over more, lean over less, or if you're standing up, I like the different adjustments, because some bikes may only have 1 or 2 different ones. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 different foregrips on each side, so it gives you a lot of versatility, where I have another bike in here right now that only gives you basically 2 positions, the high handle and the low handle. So definitely something to be aware of if you like a lot of different adjustments. This one has some of the most adjustments I've seen, and they're easy. They just loosen the pop pins, pull it out, and then it slides up and down, and then you lock it back down. Same thing with the seat. There's another pop pin there. Same thing with the seat, handlebars. They both do that locking mechanism, and then you can tighten them back down. Pretty easy to do. This bike does have magnetic resistance, but it has automatic resistance, which you can change manually whenever you want, but you can do a set program, or Merach has their Merach App, and there are other different apps that you can use well, but Merach does have their free app. There are some different levels. If you want to pay for a subscription or a monthly or yearly subscription, it's very reasonable, between $7 and $30 a month, $75 for the year. Some of the prices I saw on it. Did the 30-day free trial, so I had fun using it with that. There are some different classes on there. You can take beginner cycling classes, intermediate, advanced, even some HIIT classes. And when the instructor's going, the resistance on the monitor will actually change. When he says go to level 6, it will adjust for you. You'll start out at level 1, 2. There may be some in there where it misses it, or if it doesn't connect, it's not connected. You can always go back and manually adjust it, because I had one when I was riding, and he said go to level 9, and it didn't pick it up. So I was able just to tap the button to level 9. But then when we went back down to level 2 during the rest period of the hill climb, it automatically goes back down to 2, which I really like, because on other ones, if you're trying to reach down here and change resistance, it's going to be more cumbersome and harder to do. This one is easier to do. It's right on the screen in front of you. I feel like it's easier to reach up and forward than it is to reach down. This one, it does show a plus and minus, but this is just the stopper. This is the emergency brake stopper. On some you may have used in a commercial gym or other at-home ones, you might want to turn the resistance up and down. This one doesn't do that. This one is just the emergency stopper. You just put straight down if you want to stop. If you're going at a high rate of speed and you need to stop it quickly. But the resistance you change on the monitor. So that's just one thing to be aware of. And like I said, the monitor and everything is self-powered by the machine. So it does have a battery port on here, and it did come with batteries. But when you open this battery port, there's no metal connections in there because it's not a real battery port. I'm guessing they use this console for other different items, and there's no battery connectors in there. That's how it's supposed to be. The batteries could just be shipped with everything as part of their kit and their tools, because on this one, you don't need it because it's all self-powered. So just something to be aware of. That could be confusing for somebody. If you get a pack of batteries in there and you're like, where does this go? Think of it kind of like some high-end cars. Some car manufacturers have different levels of trim levels, and you go in a car and you might see 4 buttons on there and then 2 of them are blank. That's because in your car, you don't have the highest trim level, where in the other ones, it could be a heated seat or something that does that same button. But in your car, it might just be a dummy button or just a blacked out button. So kind of the same thing there. They're using that same center console or something for machines is my guess. But overall, I really like the bike. I took some longer rides on it. It's pretty sturdy. Has a 350-pound weight capacity, and I'm in that 280, 290 range right now. Felt it very comfortable. It was pretty sturdy. It does have adjusting feet. So you can, if you're on a slope or in a garage or in a basement and you have uneven floors, you can adjust the feet on the bottom with a screw that goes up and down. So you can get adjustment. So even on a slanted garage, it's pretty sturdy. I'm shaking that. You just hear the shaker cups. So it does have 2 water bottle holders or cup holders here, which is really nice, especially if you're going on a longer run. That's a full-size cup, so it fits in there nicely. So you can fit all different kinds of things in there. It should fit your basic water bottles, your Hydro Flask type bottles and things like that. If they're not the biggest size, it should hold all your energy drinks and other things like that. Does it compete in that budget Peloton range or Peloton dupe? Can you get a Peloton-like experience for a fraction of the cost? If you guys know anything about Peloton, recently they just raised their membership cost to $50 per month, and they're charging a reactivation fee if you buy a used one. The hack previously was go buy a Peloton on the used market and then just buy a subscription and you have one for a fraction of the cost. Well, now they're charging you a $100 activation fee, and the monthly subscription went up to $50. So right there, first month you're $150 in, which is about half the cost of this price. This one is under $400. It's in that $350 to $379 range. You can always use my code ERIC, E-R-I-C, to get the best deal. It'll take about $30 to $50 off of the current price, whatever the sale is. So that's something to be aware of. You can probably get a bike like this in that $340 to $370 range, and that's half the cost of activation fee and 1 month subscription for Peloton. So what you won't have on that is the Peloton leaderboard and all those kind of things. But this does have a free app that you can upgrade to different things. It does work with things like Zwift and Kino Map. So those are other programs that you could utilize with the Bluetooth technology. And I think every time you get one of these, you get a 30-day free trial. So you can try out the Merach app and see if you like it, or if it's something you want to upgrade to something else. But I really like it. It's fun to get immersed in those videos. I'll show you some of me riding down a bike path and things like that. So depending on which machine you have, I've had several of their machines, like their rowers, their other bikes, even their other rowers and bikes and things like that. And depending on which one you're on, the programming could be a little different, because on a bike ride, you can ride through the city or ride through a beach scene. There are different challenges on there too, which is fun. You can see they don't have a leaderboard, but you can do these different challenges where you can see you're in 8th place and you're trying to get to number 3 and you're trying to match their cadence and match their speed to see if you can gain on them. That's what I found really fun, is doing like that, the 3D immersion. All right, we're going to see if we can chase down Barb right here. Let's go after her. Chase her down. The resistance changed back down to 2. It was up at 4 a minute ago. Now we're back on 2 because we're going down a slight decline, or it's back to flat. So, all right, we're coming up on bar. We're going to try to move into 3rd place. Here we go. All right, we just passed bar. So it kind of felt like you're riding live or inside a video game with the different in-app classes and the different challenges that you can do. I would definitely recommend trying out the challenges. I thought they were pretty fun. But even if you're not interested in the app, you can always do things like YouTube and get your favorite YouTube channel, or find a cycling channel where they teach classes, and those are free. You just can go in there and just search cycling classes. That's what I used to do a lot, is you can just do a class and they'll tell you what to do it. So on that one, it won't be automatic. So when she says go up to level 6, you just type in 6. So you can always manually adjust this if needed. You don't have to be locked into that resistance. Would I recommend this bike? Definitely. And here's why I say that. It has a lot of the bones and things that you want to get in something like a Peloton that's much higher cost. And Merach's to offer these different cardio pieces at a fraction of the cost of what some of these other made brands are. And that's kind of what they're doing. They're trying to give you a really quality home gym experience. Now, they're not going to be commercial grade, but when you're home, if you only have a few people in your family riding it, it should last a long time. It seems to be very durable so far. I've really enjoyed using it. So it has a lot of the bones and things that you can get out of that Peloton experience. It's not going to have the giant screen and the leaderboard, but it does have a lot of those in-app features. And if you're competitive, you can do the different challenges and things inside the app, which I really like. And most of those are free. So try out the free ones, do the 30-day free trial and see which ones you like. You may think that, hey, well, maybe I want to sign up for this, or maybe I don't. And then after that 30-day trial, you can figure that out. So they do give you that option to try to test it out and see what you like. When you get it in, you just scan the QR code. It takes you right there to sign up as a free account and things like that. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you go do some cardio and go lift, baby. Or do cardio, lift, cardio. I'm not going to, you do what you want. But I'm going to do it on this.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
A really home good gym. They're trying to give you